In this video, we're going to be making pemmican. Hello, today we're going to be making pemmican, which is a food I'm going to be using on the trail as either a snack and also a sustenance. Alright, so one of the key ingredients that we're going to be using is ground beef. I have grass-fed ground beef, 5 pounds, 5 pounds dehydrated, and then ground up. Ground up to a fine powder is equivalent to about 1 pound of meat for the pemmican. So the first thing we're going to do, we got the beef, we got the pans and the foil. We're going to start wrapping these pans with foil, and then we'll start spreading the meat all over the pans so that it's nice and thin. Well, can't use this. However, I do have parchment paper, which I'm probably gonna try using some of that. They're pre-cut, so they probably won't fit some of these pans, but it's better than nothing. All right, so I'm gonna be spreading the beef on the pans over by the sink. These beef packets still have blood residue in it, so I'm going to cut them open and the excess blood will drain into the sink versus on the pan. Less liquid to dry out. So I'm just going to start opening these up and spreading them out. Of course, Arlo here smells all the meat, so he wants in. No fresh meat for you, baby boy. Also, a little reminder, I was just dealing with raw meat, so I have rings on right here, so it's important to wash your hands and get around those rings, so you don't have any bacteria or foodborne illnesses that can come up. So just a friendly little reminder to wash your hands. Well, there you have it. I have 5 pounds of ground beef spread thin on these pans. I didn't need to use this other pan here, so we can utilize that for later. But right now, beef's all spread out, so now I'm going to preheat the oven. I think online it has it for 155, but I'm not sure if my oven will go that low. So once I get that preheated, we can stick those in there and cook them for about 2 hours, and then flip them and cook some more. I think the bigger pan might take a little bit longer just because the meat's a little bit thicker. It didn't spread as thin as the other two, so we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so we pretty much have, after 2 hours, the one on the left seems pretty good. The middle one still a little juicy in some spots, and the large one's still a little soft and got some moisture. So we're gonna probably cook for maybe 30 more minutes, and then we'll flip these bad boys around. All right, so some of this ground beef is like sweating, some of the fat. So I'm trying to dab off some of this fat to help dry it out. I think these 2 smaller ones might be done, so I think I'm gonna try and flip them now. Ooh, look at that. So the intent is basically cooking this meat at a low heat that it dries it out. And we're slowly getting there. This one still needs to cook a little longer. It's still pretty moist. I'm on day 3 of trying to dehydrate this meat. 8 hours on Friday, 8 hours on Saturday. So to speed up the process, after dehydrating some of this meat, I broke it into smaller chunks to help speed up the process. This larger pan is the one that's been taking the longest. Smaller ones are a bit faster. Again, what I'm trying to do here is remove the fat from this meat. There's still some grease that these paper towels are picking up from the meat, so I'm just trying to continue to bake it and rotate every 2 hours to dry this meat out. This stuff feels pretty much ready. For seasonings, I plan on going with a taco flavor, as I like a little spice with my food. So you could use a pre-mixed taco seasoning, that is an option. Or if you don't want to have all the extra stuff they have in these pre-made things, is you can just buy the seasoning yourself. The seasoning generally consists of ground cumin, chili powder, cayenne pepper, onion powder, salt and pepper, those types of things, but it's pretty easy to make. but the main ingredient that gives it that taco flavor is the ground cumin. The other ingredient for pemmican is beef tallow. So mixing the tallow, you want to add equal parts dried beef to the tallow. However, I think this is where I made a mistake. I think I'm supposed to have more parts dried beef than tallow. All the pictures online show that dried beef will absorb the tallow and it looks pretty dry consistency. However, mine still look a little saturated. And once you mix in the tallow and dried beef, some recipes will have you mix in dried berries or oats, but I'm keeping my recipe almost carb free, so it's just going to be the beef and seasoning. Once the dry beef and tallow are mixed, you can spread it into a baking pan and press it down. I decided to use muffin molds to create individual puck-sized pemmican. Once you have the pemmican in the mold, refrigerate up to 1 hour. In the meantime, while that pemmican hardens, I'm preparing vacuum sealed packages for each pemmican puck. So each one is individually wrapped. Oh, nice, they come out pretty good. Now after sealing and letting them rest, my suspicion was true, and I may have used too much tallow, as the pucks are not maintaining their shape when they warm up to room temperature. So after I label the package, I'm going to throw them in the freezer for longer storage until I'm ready to use them on the trail. And that's it. And that's how I made pemmican. Well, there you have it. That's me making pemmican. Hopefully this stuff will turn out, and hopefully it has some decent flavor. I'm not going to try this stuff out until I'm on the trail, and at that point you'll probably get a report from me on how it turned out. But once again, thanks for watching and enjoy the trails.